This is the section that I'm going to talk a little bit about the magic of your emotions and the 7 characteristics that make up what I consider the magic of your emotions, because we've been so taught and conditioned to believe that our emotions are negative. And we don't understand the beauty and the magic that your emotional body contains. And as you can understand this magic, you can start to value your emotional nature rather than be afraid of it. And emotional intelligence is about understanding they are the core of your desire. Your desire in life, if you think about it, what do you want? I want to get married, I want to get divorced, I want to have a child, I want to move to another part of the country, I want to earn a lot of money. Why? Because it's going to create a certain feeling inside of you. And when you can understand that our emotions are connected to those desires, and that it's at the core of all of your desires is a feeling. What I'm really wanting is to be happy. What I'm really wanting is to be joyful. What I'm really wanting is security, a sense of security, a feeling of security, of belonging, of connection with other people. Those all come from every desire that you seek. Everything you want to create in your life is about that. So that is the first characteristic, is that the magic of your emotions is connected and is at the source of every desire that you have. The second characteristic is that your emotions are the link between the body, mind, and spirit. The spirit I consider soul and spirit, and I can talk in more detail about the difference there. But basically, your soul and spirit is your life force energy. It is your electromagnetic energy. It is the energy of your wisdom. It is the energy of your intuition. It is the energy of your connection with the divine. And it is a vital energy that all of us have. It doesn't mean that we all value it. It doesn't mean that we all listen to it. But it's available. The mind is the bridge between your life force energy and your physical reality. It's about understanding how the mind works. And the mind is made up of my attitude. A certain attitude limits the belief systems that I have. The beliefs then are formulated from my thoughts and feelings. And the thoughts and feelings are what emotion is. You see, an emotion is a specific thought. Specific thoughts that cluster around certain feelings. And an emotion is a container that holds a thought and a feeling. For instance, fear. Our thoughts about being in jeopardy. Our thoughts about being hurt or vulnerable. They are thoughts that you have that I'm not safe. I don't feel safe. And so the thoughts of vulnerability, the thoughts of being in jeopardy, the thoughts of threat produce feelings of being afraid, feelings of anxiety, produces specific feelings that are in this container called fear. Fear are thoughts and feelings together that are specific around what create the emotion of fear. So the body-mind connection and the connection to your soul and spirit, to your life force energy, flows through the mind. It's like your life force energy flows through your mind, and your mind can distort the energy. When we've repressed our emotions, a lot of our life force energy goes down with it. And we become exhausted, we become depressed, we become stuck or confused. And when you can understand that the emotions are that link between the body and the spirit, the soul and spirit, you can free up your mind. The third characteristic of the magic of your emotions is that your emotions are the source of your motivation and desire. It is a source of action, emotion, to set things into motion, to get things moving. Emotion is about motivation, to have a motivation to get up out of bed. Am I motivated in the morning to go to work out of guilt? Do I feel guilty for not showing up? Do I motivate myself out of love and joy for what I do for my living? What motivates me? And it is your emotional nature that is the core and the source of all motivation. It is the source of action. And when we have repressed our emotions, we've denied our emotions, we end up denying our very life force motivation, and we end up procrastinating, feeling stuck, confused, in the doldrums. The fourth characteristic is that your emotions are the foundation of genuine communication. Hear that. It is the foundation of genuine communication. Now let's face it, we can all talk. We can all form words and communicate, saying things, talking. But talking isn't the same as genuine communication. To communicate with somebody is to connect, to create communion. And it's through our emotions that allows us to do that. Because specifically, I don't know what you went through in your childhood. You don't know what I went through in my childhood. But what allows us to relate to each other, to communicate with each other, is that we both know what it feels like to be hurt, to be disappointed, to be wounded, to be loved, to be celebrated, to feel joy. We know the feelings, and because you share a story with me about your past, I can relate to it, I can connect to it, I can understand you because of the emotions that is the common bond of humanity. It is through those emotions that we can really relate and connect with each other. It is the core of genuine, fulfilling conversation. The fifth characteristic is that your emotions, they are the foundation of our ability to connect and to belong with others, to connect and to belong. And this kind of is an offspring from what I just talked about, communication, but it's that feeling of belonging and connection that our emotions bond us as humanity, as human beings. And it is the core of belonging, that sense that I belong, that I matter, that I'm connected. It's a feeling. It's our emotional nature that offers that magic in our lives. The sixth characteristic is that your emotions are the source of true empowerment. To be fully empowered is to be connected and to be aware of your emotional nature, to be able to understand your emotions, to not only to access your emotional nature, but to manage your emotions, to use your emotions as fuel and to clean and clear out the negative emotions, the ones that are constricting, in order for you to function on a day in and day out basis with a sense of peace, a sense of personal peace, a sense of inner strength, a sense of well-being. That is the foundation of true empowerment. And it's our thoughts that we think of a new idea, we think of a new project, right? We think about, I have this new idea for business. Well, it's the emotions that are going to motivate you to fulfill that, to get that done. Instead of it just being an idea in the back of your mind or something you talk about but never complete, it's that emotion, that motivation that kickstarts and creates the change in your reality, where you can empower yourself, where you can empower your life, where you can create the changes you desire and feel a sense of empowerment, that what you say and do, you're actually going to follow through and accomplish. That is another characteristic of the magic of your emotions, is it is the core of your empowerment. Your emotions also are the root of your memory and what's real about the past. It's those things that you experience in childhood. It's the ones that have the most emotional intensity are the ones that are the easiest to remember. Think about it. Somebody who was traumatized in their past, they can't forget about it. A dog that barks or bites a little child, they are terrified the rest of their life because of that emotional impact. It wasn't just the pain of the bite, it was the fear of being attacked. It was the emotion that you still have this emotional scar, and it is a memory that you can retrieve very quickly. And likewise, your birthday celebrations, those fun, joyful vacations, those amazing times that made you feel so alive and vibrant and healthy and whole, those specifically are easy to remember. When you become apathetic and when you've shut down your emotions and you numb out, it's hard to remember anything. You just go through the automatic motions. We've heard about that, going through the motions without emotion, just going through life day in and day out, and it becomes just a blur in your memory and in your mind. So that is the seventh characteristic of the magic of our emotions, and I hope you find that valuable.